Beirut has come back to life after a long civil war. It's reclaiming its former reputation as the Riviera of the Middle East. I've lived here for the past 5 years. I grew up in the Arab world where my father served as an American diplomat. Now I work here as a journalist. Last February, I was writing in my office when I heard an explosion. I ran out on my balcony here to see what had happened, and I saw this enormous plume of black smoke. The explosion was a political assassination. A bomb had killed 20 people, including Lebanon's best-known politician. There was an incredible outpouring of grief. Tens of thousands of people attended the funeral of the former Prime Minister Rafik Hariri. He was a billionaire businessman, a Sunni Muslim, much loved for rebuilding a war-torn Beirut. His supporters immediately blamed the killing on Lebanon's neighbor, Syria. Lebanese of all faiths came to mourn at his gravesite in Martyrs Square. It was a rare moment of unity in a country still divided along religious lines.
He was a national hero. This is a turning point in history. And I think that he was the catalyst for this change.
They wanted to kill Hariri because he represented strong Lebanon, international Lebanon. But I think the unity you see now, we should always hear every day, the mosque prayers and the church bells.
I had never seen such a powerful expression of Lebanese solidarity.
This is 1 hour before Prime Minister Hariri was killed. We were in Parliament debating the electoral law. This is his sister, Bahia. This is the last time we saw him, and see how joyful he was.
Marwan Hamadeh is a member of parliament and was a close political ally of Rafik Hariri's. Last fall, Hamadeh criticized Syrian interference in Lebanese politics. Shortly after, he too was the target of a car bombing and badly injured.
They meant to kill you.
Of course they meant to kill me.
It's a miracle you're alive.
They killed somebody who was 10 centimeters from me. And the message was clear. It was addressed to the opposition in Lebanon and I can say it, I say it freely, by the group which controlled and still controls the power system here, and which is made of Lebanese and Syrian intelligence officers who have taken over all the power here.
For decades, Syria's ruling Assad family pulled the political strings in Lebanon. Last summer, President Bashar al-Assad demanded that his man in Beirut, President Emil Lahoud, remain in office beyond his term limit. Assad ordered Prime Minister Hariri to make it happen.
Hariri was summoned to Damascus by Bashar al-Assad in late August.
Yes.
It seems that was a very critical meeting. Tell me what Hariri told you about it.
We were sitting at the house when Prime Minister Hariri arrived directly from Damascus. And he told us, the Syrian president told me, I will break the country over your head if you oppose me.
A direct threat to Mr. Hariri.
Direct threat.
At first, Hariri felt he had no option. He did what he was told, but he was disgusted by Syria's heavy-handed manipulation. A month later, he resigned and began to form an opposition. And then he was assassinated in broad daylight on Beirut's waterfront boulevard. The bombing became known as the Earthquake, an event that would fundamentally change Lebanon. The UN sent a team to investigate. They issued a blistering report concluding that Syria had created the political climate for the killing and that Lebanese officials had tampered with evidence at the crime scene. Syria's allies in the Lebanese government were on the defensive. I went to a press conference where the justice minister tried to rebut the UN charges.
The report accuses you of hiding evidence. The report accuses you of tampering with the scene of the crime. It says you brought parts of a truck, put them in a crater, and then photographed the truck. How do you respond to these charges? Are they true? If they are, will you consider resigning?
إذا نحن اليوم هذا كلام غير صحيح لم يكن هناك أي وضع لقطع سيارة أو الهدف في الحفرة بالعكس هذه الأشياء كانت موجودة الدليل على ذلك.
The justice minister gave his explanation, but the Lebanese had stopped listening. They no longer believed their Syrian-backed government. Anti-Syrian graffiti began to appear on the streets of Beirut. President Assad was a particular target. His name in Arabic means lion. Every night, young people began to gather in Martyrs Square in memory of Hariri, demanding that Syria withdraw its 14,000 troops from Lebanon.
What about the people they killed before Hariri? Let's forget about before Hariri. There's a lot of presidents. They killed them. Syria. Come on, give us some freedom, you know, because we don't care if they will kill us, all of us here. We don't care about this. Sooner or later, we're going to have our independence.
Young people camped out every night, declaring they wouldn't leave until the Syrians were gone.
Sorry for my voice, but I've been shouting for 21 days, so I think that I should do something for Lebanon, for my country that I love, for my future, for my sons and daughters.
Syrian troops came to Lebanon as peacekeepers during the civil war, but they overstayed their welcome. During their 30-year occupation, Syria siphoned off billions from the Lebanese economy. Analyst Joe Fadul wrote a report for the French government about Syrian racketeering.
The Syrian intelligence agencies used to occupy part of the port. There was a zone where the Lebanese wouldn't have the right to go, so there was at least part of the incoming goods in the port not paying the custom duties and instead paying part of it to the Syrian intelligence installed at the port.
Fadul told me how Syria ripped off Lebanon's phone company, the gas business, even the casino.
At the end of each night, at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning, the slot machines are emptied by members of both local and Syrian intelligence agencies.
So the idea that comes to mind as you tell these stories is of a house that keeps being robbed every night.
Every night and every day, not only every night. The only name I can have is the cash cow. Lebanon was a cash cow not for Syria, for the Syrian establishment, the Syrian ruling class.
The pressure was building on Syria to withdraw from Lebanon. The UN Security Council was demanding it. Even the Americans and the French had joined forces. Everyone wanted Syria out. I'd heard that Syria's president was about to make a major announcement. Protesters gathered in Martyrs Square, wondering what would happen. To their astonishment, Assad pledged that Syrian troops would begin leaving in compliance with UN Resolution 1559. But then, Syria's allies took to the streets. The armed Islamist group Hezbollah called out its followers. It was an intimidating show of support for Syria, raising fears that the streets might turn violent. 500,000 people came, mostly Shiite Muslims. But despite the anti-American rhetoric, the protest was peaceful. Hezbollah leader Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah was more moderate than usual. And as I filmed the march, I noticed that even Hezbollah was now flying the Lebanese flag. No one could have predicted what happened next.